This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
And Grant Hall, good to give us some of his time every Wednesday. Appreciate these visits with you, Grant. How are you on this rainy Wednesday up here in Northwest Arkansas?
Rainy and windy, and you never know what you're going to get right now. But it has been it's been a pretty warm January. I think it's been golf weather all but about 2 days. So
got to play yesterday, Grant. When's the last time you played?
Yesterday.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I got nine little holes, man. How'd you get? You have any birdies?
I had one. Where'd you play?
Man, I played a little par 3 track. I had 0 birdies though. That's when you get out there and but
man, you knew the answer to the question when you asked it. I mean, if the sun rose and he's got 2 feet that work, Grant Hall's
that's what it's going on, huh?
Well, I ran around Paradise Valley for 11 holes and then stopped to go to this press conference with Mateo. Fernandez de Oliveira, who just won the Latin American Amateur, and it's really interesting. He gets to play in the Masters, the Open, the British Open.
Nice.
He already had qualified with his ranking for the U.S. Amateur and the British Amateur, but he gets to play in all those. And he's got another year of eligibility if he wants it at Arkansas. But who knows after the events of this year? But he's 5'7". And what is that? Almost.
That's no room for error. But that's the best golfers are 5'9". You can't mess up your swing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Arkansas guy. I was thinking about Landry wasn't that big. Cook is not that tall. Lingmerth is about 5'7", I think. And they say that good things come in small packages, and he's really playing well right now. Great kid. Really personable. He's never been to Augusta National. I asked him if he might take one of the Razorbacks with him as a caddy, and he said, well, the problem is most of those guys want to play, and he said if he were caddying, he would want to be playing, and so he's going to – the guy that caddied for him when he won the Puerto Rico tournament is going to go for the first few days of the week, and I think they're going to see how that works out.
Somebody he's familiar with, yeah.
Listening to you talk about how it's good to be closer to the ground if you're a golfer, I definitely missed my calling because I'm 5'0", 100 and nothing.
You'd be killing the golf course.
And I got a good swing.
Yeah.
I've got a good swing, man. I took the kids to Top Golf a couple of weeks ago, and they were impressed because every once in a while I'll hit one straight and long. But you know what happens with the next one. So, I mean, I definitely missed my calling, Grant. I should have not been playing so much baseball because I never had a chance to,
Well, I'm not sure you have enough free time, Phil. It seems like you're working all the time, but it does take a little work. I don't know. Have you guys talked about this deal yet with, this being the last day to go into the transfer portal? There's some fans who are scared to death about not only Briles going to TCU, but also maybe KJ and everything.
We'd mentioned that in the first segment. There's 2 aspects to this. One, I just want the whole Kendal Briles thing to be over with. Either stay or go. Let's get this done. And it sounds like if you believe the Football Scoop report, and usually those things are true at this point, after several days of negotiations, it sounds like it might be a done deal soon. But yeah, that's the other aspect of this too. I mean, KJ wants to play for Kendal Briles. This better not be like a 2-for-1 deal because I think TCU's looking for a quarterback. I don't think Max Duggan is coming back. I think he declared for the draft, and I'm not sure if Chandler Morris is the guy that they want to run it back with.
Well, what happens with South Carolina too, and if this did happen, would Arkansas go right back and get Dowell Loggains, and then might you get Trey Knox back? And you saw a couple of days ago, I think when there was concern about the tight end. Is it Easter? Is that the name? I think who is recommitted to Arkansas. Did he know something? Did he know, like that Loggains might come back here? So today is going to be filled with speculation.
I don't think Dow. I just in his makeup, and I know he wants to be an Arkansas guy, but I think once he makes a commitment to be at South Carolina, I don't think he would come right back right away. I just think that's a bad look for everybody around. When you make a commitment to somebody, you say you're going to be there, and then something else, the prettier girl walks through the room, and you just walk on. I mean, I don't really like it. I guess that's the business now, though, huh?
Well, that's, Bobby Petrino did that.
Well, we all know how I feel about Bobby Petrino, so yeah.
Well, Petrino's got that history, of course, and so does
I wouldn't
Briles.
trust him for anything. Anything he said, I wouldn't trust him. Yeah.
It's just that it's this late. It's so late. And I understand they had an offensive coordinator when he put out the tweet. So I just have to, accept that this is the lay of the land of the sport, and we have to stop you. Seriously now, Grant, can we stop using the word loyalty as if it means something in college football? Can we stop using the word commitment? Because nobody that commits is really committed.
Yeah, we're a family. Yeah, what happened to all this?
26 transfer guys leaving Arkansas, from last year to this year. And Catalan going to Texas, of all things. The guy was a captain at Arkansas going to Texas. It's just mind-boggling, the landscape that we're in. But, Phil, I did go to the Mike Neighbors. They have these monthly luncheons for the Arkansas women's basketball program. And yesterday was pretty interesting. You got to do that game. And I went to the first half of the game and then went to Eric's thing, and so everybody in there at Sassy's was watching it, and I mean the place just erupted when Michaela made that shot, and then Michaela was there yesterday, and Mike told us he was already planning his pre-overtime talk, okay, they had won with 4 or 5 seconds left, and then Arkansas turns around, and I did ask Mike, I said, were you trying to foul? And he said yes. They wanted to foul and prevent that three-point shot that Vanderbilt took, but just couldn't get to her, and I guess that there was still some time left.
I think that was the surprise of it, is that she got rid of the shot so quickly. And that's why they couldn't foul. I mean, Giroux took that shot, I think it was 2 steps over the half-court line, but that was their mistake in the end. They left Michaela Daniels, just over 4 seconds to find a way to be the hero.
There was a year when Gary Blair coached here that 3 different times they decided not to foul or didn't foul, and all 3 times the other team made the three-point shot, and I think won 2 of the games. And so I was reminding Mike of that. He said the first guy to call him was Gary Blair after the game. He had watched the game, and they talked about it. But yeah, the plan was to foul, probably with maybe 3 seconds left or something.
So let me look at what happened Monday and juxtapose that with what I hear so often from the men's basketball side of things. Vanderbilt gave Arkansas's women's team their absolute best shot. I think that's the best they've played in the SEC, bar none, especially that second half. Yet Arkansas won the game. They found a way to pull
7 out of 7 from 3 in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's outrageous.
I know. It was crazy. It was crazy. On the other hand, we hear very often from the players and from media members too that because Arkansas's men's team has this number next to their name and they've got this track record of 2 Elite Eights, and I think also the way that they play generates some pushback from their opponents, that they're always going to get the best from their opponent. You could say that from Vanderbilt. That's probably the best Vandy played all year. And judging from yesterday's game, though I know they didn't have Liam Robbins against Alabama, it is probably the best they've played so far this year. They got to find a way to win one of those games, though. Enough about the number next to your name and what's happened these past 2 years. Beat a team when the other team comes at you with that target on your back.
Well, I think Eric said this 17 straight weeks Arkansas has been ranked. I was astonished they were still ranked this last week. I think somebody voted them 12th.
Yeah.
And they squeezed in there number 25. But maybe that'll mean something. Maybe they can. If they still think we're good. And the thing is, after tonight, Arkansas's got 3 straight conference home games. Now they go. I think they have that Baylor game in there, but. So there's some sort of a chance to get well if you somehow could go to Columbia and win this, and that is, for what it's worth, that is the one team Arkansas has beaten in the conference, and Arkansas was down 17 in the first half to them.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the last time they had a little run. Coach Nutt used to say this: protect the ball. It's the most precious thing out there, and that's on the football. But on the basketball side, Grant, that's what I see, that we're losing the turnover battle and not getting the steal. So it's going both ways, and that's an extra 8, 9, 12 points you could get that really swings the momentum. How do we get back to playing that nasty defense and getting some fast break points?
Well, that's the question, and he's going to change the lineup again. I think the 2 Mitchell thing probably you won't see that in the starting lineup tonight. They got to try to, as you're right, they only had 4 steals in one of those games, and the double whammy is they're losing. But the thing that, Eric talked about the competitiveness, and you don't give up 63.5 unless you've sort of mentally checked out in a way. And I mean, you all talked about this, the situation the other night with Arkansas could not have done more to inflame Vanderbilt if they tried,
Right.
And you could sort of see that coming from halftime. But it's a new night. It's an 8:00 game tonight. I think you're right. Now, one player to look at, I would say, if they can light a fire under Walsh.
Yeah, he'll bounce back.
He scored 8 points in the last 3 games. Now, he did have 10 rebounds, I think, against Auburn. So we've seen here and there the potential. I've liked this kid ever since the summertime when we saw him, a very serious-minded guy, for a freshman, and he's just going through a slump right now, and maybe he can break out of it tonight.
Yeah, I'm a Jordan Walsh fan, too. I still like this team. I still have confidence in them. We're too athletic, but I think you brought up a good point right there. Freshmen, we're young, and when you're a freshman, you kind of go through a couple more slumps, and you'll see these scoring averages of these freshmen. Like Jordan Walsh will probably average 5 more points a game next year. Pinion's going to play a lot more next year, but this is this year, and so you kind of got to get out of that slump and get it going.
And by the way, Pinion did have that 13-point game against Missouri. That's one team that they can find somebody for him to guard, and maybe he hits a few threes tonight. But I think it's going to be a tough go. I mean, I read that they've been drawing 10,000 a 15,000 seat building, and tonight they're within 200 of a sellout.
Oh, they're
That's
ready.
The other thing.
Yeah.
When you've been to 2 Elite Eights in a row, they want to come see it. And Kentucky's been dealing with this for 60 years or whatever,
Well, Mizzou fans buy into a
basketball
basketball rivalry more than they do a football rivalry.
I believe in basketball more with Mike Anderson going. Yeah, I think so too, Phil.
Did you, Matt? You played there. Did you play at Missouri?
We did not. Missouri was in the Big 12 when I was playing.
Okay, so you missed them. They did play some intersectional games back then, but you missed that. So yeah, I mean, I don't think they're as wild as they used to be, but they might be pretty active tonight.
Hey, Grant, I got to finish with you on a golf topic here. I read where LIV Golf might be signing a television deal with the CW network. So what exact? I mean, that's a national network. I don't watch, Smallville or stuff like that too often. I don't know if Smallville's even on there anymore. But I guess it helps legitimize it a little bit more. They'll have their own network, and they'll be on television almost every weekend. Yeah,
I saw that, and there was something on the CW the other day that I looked. Oh, it was some kind of awards show, and I couldn't find it on. It's on. I think it's on Cox Cable, but I couldn't find the thing. So, I guess. I'm not sure that's what Greg Norman envisioned for his TV network, but I guess it's better than nothing.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from the NFL and bowl season to esports. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. We're the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite leagues and events. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. BetOnline, where the game starts.